We have migration happening. We have all kinds of things in terms of what our world is looking like. We're learning other languages. We need to understand the geographies around us. There are cultural nuances all over. There are security implications, and with it comes privacy. We don't know enough. We have a chief privacy officer at Cisco, and she can tell you there's that intersectionality between law and what is private and security. It's a puzzle. And that's very interesting because we're now going to have a legal hackathon. That is, computer scientists who happen to be lawyers. Oh, what a concept. So, you know, you interpret the law as you know it at the time you know it. Very interesting. You see now the interdisciplinary skills that are coming in. So I just painted you a picture of the trends. Now, digitization, we all talk about digitization, but we have to think about it from a private industry perspective. And I'm going to go up to the trends. Let's take you across the trends. People don't understand what's happening to them in the small and medium business environment. What does digitization mean? What are the skills that are required? Right? We think about it at Cisco all the time. And so do our customers, and so do our partners. In Germany, I'll give you an example, 75% of the small and medium enterprises are not prepared for a digitized society. They don't have the skill set. The global economy, as we know it, we have all kinds of factors that are happening today that are scenarios that we have to pay attention to. For example, I live on the other side of the environment, and what we see now, and you see it now in your own environment in the United States, I can say that I'm an American citizen, but you see a lot of problems, not only from how we measure GDP, what is GDP, what is that, are we measuring the right things, so know a little bit about economics, what are the political factors, and we can also talk about scenario analysis here. But what we're seeing is now a trend towards, what I see as a trend towards sort of isolationism, which we have to pay very careful attention to. Scarce resources. How many of you are from the Middle East? Water is so important. And I remember being served a glass of water, and it was like being served something so special. Because water is very important as a resource that we have. Let me challenge you, what we're seeing in our scenarios may be because of the resources. Water is very, very key. We've seen that before, water. That's an example. It's not just oil. When I talked with colleagues who are in the Middle East, they're trying to get people off of this oil economy and thinking about what needs to be done in textile, what needs to be done in private industry. And it's very, very challenging. You know, what does that look like? The other thing is the changing population. We have already touched upon that. But the changing population is big. And it's also exciting. It's great when I meet little kids and they're speaking foreign languages, before their mother tongue. I live in a country that is 8.2 million people. That's Switzerland. And a teacher is remunerated as much as an engineer. Let me repeat that. A teacher is remunerated as much as an engineer. And why is that? Because the culture of the country is, if I put my child in the hands of a stranger, I want that person to be well compensated. It's a different cultural bent, isn't it? And I also believe when you talk about community chartered, oriented individuals, I believe, as we heard yesterday from Coca-Cola, about purposeful, that which has a purpose. So think about it. Is this device made of, blood diamonds? Think about how you qualify your employees, the companies you work for, the companies you will start. What are going to be your values? Your core values, and how you qualify that. The ecosystem of your partners. How do you qualify that? Let me suggest to you, part of the qualification is how you treat people. How do you treat people? So you've got people, purpose, participation, platform, and productivity. It's called quad Ps, right? So, and I think with that, you have to think about that, those values. The platform, that which you're going to create. What does participation look like? Is it a co-creation? Are we co-creating together? And then, of course, this hyper connected world that we live in. The new environments, think about the distributed chain of trust. Think about that. Think about what that will look like and how I qualify it. That it's peer-to-peer or distributed. So, and then, of course, you have identity.